Good evening, my friends. Today we have our new lecture, and as you may have a task which concerns some country studies, yeah, for example, American studies or British studies, I've decided to launch a series of lectures dedicated to various sites, maybe to some country study issues, yes. And today we're going to talk about the iconic American sites. So we're going to talk about the famous sites of America tonight. So today let's discuss the iconic American sites. You may know some of them. Some of them are very famous and have been known to you since childhood. Yes, and you will see which ones are like this. Yes, but some of the sites are not very well known. Yes, because America is an interesting country, is a unique country. Some people say that it is the most incomprehensible country in the world. Yes, some people say that India maybe or Japan, yes, are very peculiar, are quite incomprehensible to Europeans or to the Americans. But some people say no, it is America. It's America is a mythological place. So let's talk about the iconic American sites. And one interesting fact about America is that America cannot boast some truly historical sites. There aren't any castles, yes, there aren't any ruins of the ancient buildings in the US, yes, but America is a young country, you know it, and that's why America has its own sites, has her own sites, which are very famous and which they, for example, created themselves. And some of the American sites, some of the American landmarks are of natural origin. So let us begin. We'll begin with a well-known site, which is Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. It is in Orlando, Florida. Yes, so uh, some people may question, may wonder, why is this site American? Yes, why is it a truly American site? The thing is that it was created artificially. It was built artificially. It was built by the by the people. Yes, and it is actually a sign of American dream. Yes, so Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom means that you can achieve anything and you can make your dream come true. You can bring fairy tale into this life. So that's why this Walt Disney's World's Magic Kingdom is a famous American site. Yes, one of the famous American landmarks. So this Magic Kingdom certainly welcomes everyone into its dream world, yes, where Mickey Mouse and Cinderella roam and whirling rides thrill, yes. The whole scope of the American imagination is represented, from the futuristic Tomorrowland to the classic Fantasyland. So I would like you to pay attention to this site because it actually contains um, the characters from American movie history. Yes, Mickey Mouse, Cinderella. Yes, they come from the famous American cartoons. Yes, and it is actually the American culture, pop culture. Yes. So again, I'll repeat that America cannot boast uh, ancient culture, yes, but it has its new culture that they created themselves, yes, and which actually invaded the world, yes, and that's why you can see the staples, you can see the characters, yes, of this culture in this place, in this Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. It is in Orlando, Florida. The next one is the French Quarter, which is situated in New Orleans, in Louisiana. Yes, this city has a name which can be pronounced in two ways: New Orleans and New Orleans. Yes, it's up to you. What is the French Quarter? It's a very famous district. It's a historical district. It was built in the 19th century mostly, and it is actually the center of American Southern culture. Yes, where jazz, blues, these types of music were born. Yes, so it's a very famous quarter. It's a very famous district. Yes, in New Orleans, in Louisiana. So why is it interesting? Yes, it is. It has cobblestone corridors, lush courtyard gardens, storied wrought iron balcony railings. So I told you that this district was mainly built in the 19th century. That's why it has many buildings with the features from the 19th century, historical buildings. The city's rich history and musical heritage are inextricably linked. Yes, jazz, blues, classic rock and roll, and electronic dance music all reverberate from the quarter's doors. It's an American icon you must experience. Yes, so you must know about this site, about this district. It's just a city district. Yes, why is it interesting? Yes, why is it interesting? There are many clubs, many cafes, many restaurants where you can hear the truly American types of music: jazz, blues, rock and roll. Yes, so all these types of music, so they actually appeared in the U.S. and in the French Quarter. You can actually experience the real American music. Yes. So this is the French Quarter in New Orleans, in Louisiana. This site, this place, I think is very well known. You can often see it on TV, for example. Yes, this is Times Square in the city of New York and the state of New York. Yes, Times Square is a very, very famous square in New York. Yes, so it's the most expensive place. And it is actually the place where there are lots of shops, offices, theaters, cinemas, bars, restaurants. It's actually the concentration of all these places, and that's why it creates a unique experience. Yes, a unique experience. You're in the center of everything because you know, New York is one of the world's centers. Yes, of fashion, money, music, theater, consumerism. So in this place, and in this place you can see the concentration of all these things. Yes, so let us learn something about Times Square. Throngs of wide-eyed, overstimulated tourists from every corner of the world walk through the blaring ads and kaleidoscopic signs in awe, cameras in hand. This roaring neon hub of humanity truly never sleeps, and it simply must be seen to be believed. So it's a very good description that I took from the website, and it actually describes the atmosphere, yes, in this place. Throngs of wide-eyed tourists. Yes, it means crowds of wide-eyed tourists. Why are they wide-eyed? They can't believe they're in the center of this magnificent city. Yes, in the center of everything. Blaring ads. It means the neon signs, the advertisements which are everywhere and which glare and which blare. So it creates a very special city atmosphere, which is in Times Square, New York. So this is one of the famous sites too in the US. Our next site, our next famous site in America is Fenway Park, yes, which is situated in Boston, Massachusetts. Yes, maybe you've heard about it, yes, but why is it interesting? You know, the game of baseball is a very famous game in America, and it is extremely popular in the US. And this Fenway Park, it's one of the it's one of the most famous stadiums where this game is played, and it's a legendary stadium. Yes, why is that so? The Boston Red Sox have played at Fenway Park, the oldest Major League Baseball ballpark since 1912. So you see, 1912. So it's actually the beginning of the 20th century, and this famous baseball team, Boston Red Sox, have played at this stadium since 1912. So that's why you understand that it's a legendary place. Yes, legendary place, and it is Major League Baseball Park. So Major League, you understand, it means that only the best teams, yes, only the best teams play in this stadium. Baseball legends Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, and Carl Yastrzemski all stepped up to bat here. To bat, is to to play baseball with a bat. It's both a vestige of an American golden age preserved in all its old-fashioned glory. Yes, so you can. This stadium, yes, this park is actually old-fashioned, and it is a preserved site. Yes, so that's why it has become one of the most famous American landmarks. It is again Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Of course, you know this monument. It is quite famous. Many people know this mount. Yes, know this mount. They have seen it many times in the films, maybe in documentaries, even in cartoons. Yes, but not a lot of people know what kind of mount it is. It is Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore, which is situated in Keystone in South Dakota. Yes, so the faces of the 4 American presidents are carved out of this rock. Yes, rock Mount Rushmore. So it is a shrine to democracy carved in the same wild western lands that came to represent the pioneering American spirit. The sculpture features the faces of 4 US presidents, including Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. So it's interesting why this site was chosen, yes, to portray the 4 famous US presidents, yes. So actually it is situated in the western lands, yes, western lands, where American pioneers came, yes. They came to those lands to establish new country, yes, and it actually was an amazing experience for them. Yes, actually, it's American history when pioneers go west, yes, and establish new country there. Yes, it's actually American. It has become an American myth. Yes, myth, and in this place, this giant sculpture features the faces of 4 US presidents. Please remember that it is Mount Rushmore in Keystone, South Dakota. This is interesting, yes? Taos Pueblo in Taos, New Mexico. Not a lot of people know about this place, but what is it? What is it, yes? These are actually multi-story mud and straw adobes. It means homes, yes. They have sheltered Tiwa-speaking Native Americans for nearly 1,000 years, making them a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Let's go back to this picture. So you see, these houses are made of mud and straw, yes, and they can have several stories, yes, so several stories. So it's interesting. It's just like the houses built in Europe, for example, in Middle Ages. So these are not only cabins, maybe, or wigwams. So it's a multi-story building. Yes, so they were made of mud and straw. You know this technique, of course, and it is more than 1,000 years old. Yes. As though frozen in time, the Taos Pueblo today appears much as it did when the first Spanish explorers arrived in New Mexico in 1540, where the legacy of the traditional Native American way of life endures. So why is this site interesting? You can actually see the life of the Native Americans, yes, which is actually frozen in time, yes, as if it were in the 16th century, yes, when the Spanish explorers arrived in New Mexico. So please remember, this is Taos Pueblo. It's a site where you can see the homes of the Native Americans, yes. And it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, yes. So, you know, America has also the sites which are protected by UNESCO. So not only in Europe, but in the US as well. So United States can boast many sites, yes, many unique sites which attract tourists and which actually constitute the history of America. So next is Big Sur. I think you know the band Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yes, it's an American rock band. And in one of their songs, so Big Sur is mentioned. Yes, in Big Sur we take some time to linger on. Yes, so as I've told you, America cannot boast the ruins of the castles of ancient buildings, but it has magnificent, amazing natural sites. Yes, so Big Sur in California is one of these sites, and it is also a very famous landmark of the US. So Big Sur is a storied, it means it means famous, yes, which is reflected in various stories. Is a storied retreat for artists and writers, yes. Here the height reaches for spectacular vistas, including the 875,000 acres of wilderness in the Los Padres National Forests, or relax on the idyllic beach where whales and seals can be seen, or enjoy it all from the car on Coastal Highway number 1. So the author actually invites us to do something in Big Sur, hike the right ridges. Yes, it means go hiking. Yes, then relax on the idyllic beach. Yes, so it's also a very famous site for tourists, for hikers, and you know, it is also a good place for artists and writers. Yes, for because actually the Big Sur inspires them to create something new. Yes, so also a very famous site, very spectacular, very beautiful, Big Sur in California. Of course, you heard about the Grand Canyon in Arizona. Yes, Grand Canyon is very famous, and the Grand Canyon is an American icon in that it represents the expansive, larger-than-life ruggedness of the country. Yes, volcanic features and soaring sandstone canyon walls create awesome vistas. Awesome vistas, it means very beautiful views. Yes, very beautiful views, very far away views. Yes, where you can watch far away. On the floor of this 227-mile natural wonder, the wild Colorado River traces a swift southwestern coast. Yes, so Grand Canyon, let's go back to this picture, is a very spectacular site. You can see the Colorado River and the beautiful vistas. Yes, so it's an iconic American side. Next landmark that we're going to speak about is Thomas Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. You know, in America there is a state of Washington, which is in the northwest, yes, northwest, but the city, the capital of America, is called Washington, D.C., District Columbia. Of course, you know it. So it's interesting. Today we're talking about both natural sites and the architectural structures. Yes, so Thomas Jefferson Memorial. So Thomas Jefferson Memorial has a stately dome. Yes, its stately domed marble roof and commanding columns are instantly recognizable. Yes, while its graceful steps overlooking the Potomac is the river in Washington, D.C., make for a lovely lunch or resting spot. Yes, what does it mean? It means that people can have rest. Yes, they can also enjoy beautiful views. They can see the Potomac River. Yes, and they can relax and rest and think about American history. Yes, think about the role of the United States and the role of Thomas Jefferson, yes, played in the history of the United States. They can use and again contemplate about the history of America and its place in the world today. Yes. As author of the Declaration of Independence, our third president and the visionary founding father, Jefferson, and his memorial are icons of the American spirit. So today we are actually talking about the sites, about the places, and about the buildings which actually constitute, yes, which create the American spirit, yes, which represent this American spirit, which represent the essence of the United States. So you see, again, as you see, these are both natural sites and some buildings. Yes. Another not natural, yes, but artificial site, artificial structure is the Millennium Park in Chicago, Illinois, the state of Illinois. So it's an interesting park because it has different sculptures. Some of them are very modern, yes, or postmodern, whatever, and actually, again, it represents in my opinion, the American spirit, yes? So the desire to create something new, the desire to be the first, yes? The desire to be the best, the desire to rule everyone, yes? So I don't know whether it is a good feeling or not, but it is American spirit, yes? And actually the structures, yes, the architectural sites that you have seen today, they actually also refer to this American spirit. So Millennium Park, yes, I think it's a very, very American site. The Bean is another captivating structure. Its official name is Cloud Gate, with its gleaming polished steel commanding a photographic fun with reflections. The otherworldly J. Pitzke Pavilion hosts several can't-miss music festivals. All in all, Millennium Park is the perfect icon for the truly American city of Chicago. Yes, so so again, at this slide, you can see information about Chicago. It's a truly American city with lots of skyscrapers. And because it has this Millennium Park, yes, where you can see very specific structures, very specific sculptures, which attract people and which encourage them to make photographs. So this is actually America, yes, it actually represents American spirit. Next site is Grand Central Terminal, yes, in New York, the state of New York, yes. What is it? It's a railway station. It's a railway station. So America is a unique country, and a railway station is one of the iconic sites of America. Yes, why? Because it is huge, it is grand. Yes, it is the biggest railway station in the world. And again, it represents the American spirit, the desire to have everything which is the best, the biggest, yes, the most innovative, and so on and so forth. So, Grand Central Terminal. Grand Central is one of the world's largest, busiest, and most beautiful stations. Yes, chandeliers glimmer in the waiting room, while in the cavernous main concourse, sleek marble walls support an arched robin's egg blue ceiling that twinkles with a fiber optic map of the constellations. You can check these words in the dictionary. Yes, so and it's interesting. This building is interesting because it is both classical. Yes, it is one of the classical buildings, but at the same time, it is one of the world's largest, busiest, and most beautiful stations. Yes, it's interesting how the Americans managed to combine beauty and work. Yes, so beauty and necessity. Yes, there is a necessity for people to travel around the US. Yes, by train. It was a long time ago. Now the Americans prefer to travel by cars. So this is the necessity. Yes, and they built this necessary building and combined it with beauty. So you can see marble walls, yes, robin's egg blue ceiling, yes, and on this ceiling you can see fiber optic map of the constellations. Yes, very interesting, very innovative. So the building itself is more than 100 years old, but the constellations are new structures. These fiber optic maps are new structures, yes, and it actually shows how old and new can coexist, yes, and coexist in America. So it actually also refers to the American spirit. The next American site, the next famous American site, maybe you don't know it, is the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. In Nashville, Tennessee. So this building looks maybe even shabby and not beautiful at all and not very big, but it's a legendary site too. Yes, so it's no questions why country music fans from around the world flock to this iconic venue. Yes, so venue is actually a place where concerts and gigs can be played. Yes, so and you see that the music fans from around the world flock. It means they rush to this iconic venue. Not only is the Grand Ole Opry country music's most famous stage, but it's also often frequently referred to as the birthplace of American music. So you see, that's why it is famous. It is the birthplace of American music. And you know that the country music, yes, country music is extremely popular in the United States. And it is one of the venues, one of the principal venues where this music is played. Yes, the first show began in 1925 at this venue, and the legacy lives on today as guests are able to tour the behind-the-scenes action and even catch a live performance. So this place is unique. It is interesting because you know, the shows began there practically 100 years ago. Yes, and this legacy still lives on. Yes, so the fans can watch, so they can listen to music, they can watch a show, yes, but they can also have some behind the scenes action. Yes, so that's why this is a very famous American site. Yes. Again, you can see this historical building. It is the Alamo in San Antonio in Texas. Again, I will repeat that America cannot boast a lot of historical buildings, but the ones which remain, yes, so they are preserved very, very well, yes, and many of them played a great role in American history. So originally known as the Mission San Antonio de Valero, this 18th century Roman Catholic mission played a major role in defining the future of the United States. Yes, so it's a Catholic mission, the building of the Catholic mission, but it turned out that it played a major role in the history of the United States. The Battle of Alamo lasted 13 days, but the legacy of this little fortress lives on in the nation's history due to the passion and determination of the men that fought within. So you can see some information about this Alamo, the Battle of Alamo. Yes, it was during the Texan Revolution, and it was actually a fight between the Mexicans and the Texans. So this fortress, this little fortress, played one of the major roles in the history of the United States. The next natural site, it is Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs in Colorado. So again, we're talking about the nature of the United States, yes, because in America you can see an amazing nature, yes, which is absolutely stunning. So you remember the Grand Canyon, and Garden of the Gods is also very famous in Colorado, yes. The vibrant black rock formations that fill this natural landmark defy geology within their monumental size and artistic shapes. It took more than 30 million years for the elements to carve out the main formations of the Garden of the Gods, including the three Graces, the Siamese twins, and the kissing camels. The park is open to the public every day from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. for hiking, biking, climbing, and guided walks with park rangers. Yes, so if you happen to be in the US, and I'm sure that many of you will go there, remember the opening hours, yes, so from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. and remember the activities, yes, which you can do in this national park: hiking, biking, climbing, guided walks, yes. So, and you can actually you can wander at the beautiful nature of Garden of the Gods, yes. So I think that's all, my friends. Thank you for your attention. We'll see you next week, and thank you very much.